Hello. Today we're going to make corn pancakes or tortillas, for which the main ingredient is unrefined corn flour. Nothing added, just yellow, simply ground and extracted corn. Here I have it. Let's begin. First, take 400 milliliters, about 2 cups of water. And to each person's taste. We can add a little salt or not. I love to add it, so I put in a little bit of salt and I stir it really well so that it dissolves completely and we have salt water ready for the mixture. And making the dough is as easy as putting the corn flour in a large bowl and adding that water we prepared little by little. I also recommend that the water be lukewarm, neither cold nor too hot. And what we do is add a little splash and stir it a few times so the flour starts absorbing this moisture. We keep repeating this process, and that way we make sure the texture becomes just right. Remember that with 2 cups you should have water left over, so add it little by little and don't overdo it. In the end, after you've added a few splashes, you'll notice it gets harder to do with the spoon or the spatula. At that point, put on some gloves or wash your hands well because it's time to knead by hand. That means that when you press it together, it forms a dough, and that's what we're looking for. We don't need more water, we just need to work the dough a little bit. Knead it well so it becomes compact, forms a ball of dough, and also holds its shape. That is, if you press it, your finger should leave marks. See? That's what we were looking for. A dough with the right texture. Now we cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for 30 minutes. Some time has already passed, which is essential for the tortilla to be well moistened and thus become fluffier and softer. At this moment, what I do is turn on the griddle or pan that we're going to use to prepare them. Because I want it to start heating up, and also because I want it to cook on medium heat, or even a bit lower, so keep the heat gentle. Up and running, and we are going to get the little tortillas ready. The next step we're going to do is remove the plastic wrap or plastic film and knead it lightly again. This little thing I have here, which is the tortilla dough. And after this second little kneading, what I do is divide it. I like to do it this way because they turn out pretty similar. I divide the dough in half, and then I divide each piece again. That way, I get pieces of similar size. In this case, 8 portions. And I knead each one of them a little bit again afterwards. I toss it with my hands. That is, I keep turning it until it has a more or less round shape with the palms of my hands. It only takes a moment. And I repeat the process with each of these little triangles of dough I have. I press like this, kneading a bit, so the dough becomes very compact. I toss it with the palms of my hands until it gets round, and then on to the next one. I'll do the same with each one of them. So let's get this going at full speed, and we'll move on to the next step. And almost more importantly, is it the pressing or the stretching of these corn tortillas? My trick is to use, well, in my case, a silicone mat, but you could also use baking paper or parchment paper, also called wax paper, and a flat plate, because I'm going to press them without using any machine. If you have anything flat, a board will work, a plate like this will work, you shape it with a piece of plastic wrap, and that's it. You just have to press the ball against the plate, and you'll get it to flatten out. The more you press, the thinner it gets. The usual thing is to make them super thin, although I like them a bit thicker. That just depends on everyone's taste. You can safely lift them with a little knife this easily, or just use the spatula directly if you do it carefully, and hold it with your hand. Look, I'm going to do it with this one. I just grab it, slide a spatula underneath, hold it with my hand, and the omelet is ready. We'll do this with each of the balls, and we'll have all the pancakes ready to cook. Here, I have my griddle or pan over medium heat, and I place the pancakes on top. We're just going to wait for them to cook. It's as simple as that. When you see that they start to brown a little, flip them over. You'll notice they're getting a bit moist. Some people like to put a little bit of oil on the griddle or a pan to give it that flavor, but that's optional. The important thing is that they're cooked on both sides, and that's it. You'll notice that they start getting a more yellow color as they cook. And the first 3 are already ready. We're going to repeat the process with each of our tortillas, and then we'll have our masterpiece ready. You want to see it up close? Alright, look, these go with just a little bit of oil, just a drop, and you get them to have a more yellow and crispy tone. Of course, like I said, that's optional, but hey, if you like it, you can try it. You can make some regular ones and others with a little bit of oil, and that way you have both types. In the end, these pancakes with that truly wonderful golden corn color are fantastic. I hope you try them, you're going to love them. And here comes, straight and warm, the plate with my corn tortillas, perfect for everything. Sauces, meat, any delicious mix. But before we finish, here are the exact ingredients and quantities for you. It's incredibly simple, as you only need 2 ingredients. Well, basically just 1. If you have corn flour, try it, you're going to love it. And I'm also going to ask you a little question, but first I'm going to try it. That mild corn and toasted flavor. It drives me a little crazy. The question I'm going to ask you is very important. Today, I'm going to let you choose. What should we put on it? I'm sure you have some fantastic ideas to give it a great flavor. I'm expecting a lot of ideas, so everyone, go to the comments and share them. While you ponder what to enjoy this wonder with, check out this other video showing Pintazzo's take on it. Subscribe to the channel for free and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the news. And remember that I have another channel with sweet and fantastic recipes called Golosolandia.